Good morning. This is Scott Cullen, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. I'm here with Frank Cannata, our founder. And Frank, welcome to Fridays with Frank.
Thank you, Scott. It's nice to be with you again.
Yep, and it wouldn't be Fridays with Frank without you. So we've got.
Thank you for that.
So Frank, our first question today is a follow-up question from Barry Simon of Datamax, who actually asked our last question, which turned into a three-part series. That first question of his was, how can dealers diversify? This follow-up question is, what can manufacturers do or the OEMs to help their dealers diversify? So we'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Sure. I think what Barry was kind of looking for, because this previous question is about what dealers should be doing to diversifying, was more towards what should, if I can think back at what our conversation, what should manufacturers be doing along the same lines? Dealers have to do the things that we addressed. What should manufacturers? I would like to respond in that way. So
sure.
People will not think I didn't answer the question. I think one of the things that I've always done is rely on our past experiences in visiting to Japan, and think about what each of the manufacturers shared with us. You, having been with us in 2018, know what that is like and how meaningful it is in terms of the information that we receive from all the companies, and how informative it is in terms of scoping out what their intentions are. So I'm going to kind of bring that all together and say, from my various trips to Japan, I'd like to come up with a brief analysis of where I think the manufacturers will be positioned for the future. I think the first thing I would say is dealers should not be concerned about manufacturers and what they're going to do. They are totally committed to the business in a way that they can appreciate, and a way I know they should respect. They don't think short term. That is just not the Japanese way. There always, in our trips, there was always talk. That was what I went there for. Don't tell me about what you're doing today. I got it. Tell me about what you're going to be doing tomorrow. And they've always been so informative and so enlightening, only from the standpoint of not saying this is what they're going to do, but why. So if we take a look at the big six, and let's do it alphabetically the way we do the survey. You start off with Canon. Canon has I forgot the title for it, but it's an all-encompassing meeting about Canon and its future, or what it's going to do over the next decade. That's how long they plan out. Then they have, midway through, they have kind of an update on what they're going to do to adjust or add or do whatever it is they think they should do that they didn't think about previously. Canon's long-term focus is to use the existing technology that they have in as many different ways as possible. And this was brought home to us by Harald Morassi in 2014. He said, if you take a look at our technology, in terms of imaging, it's pretty broad. And what they were able to do, this is going back again 7 or 8 years, is to use the imaging technology, camera technology, in satellites. So here's a whole new area for Canon, space exploration, and a way to use their camera technology. Robotics. The big concern in Japan, and why all of them like to talk about robotics, is the declining proportion of youth to the overall demographic. In Japan, nursing homes is not a way of life for them. Older people should be taken care of by younger people. But if there are fewer and fewer younger people, who's going to be doing the caring? They just don't have the capability. In addition to that, women are being hired to a larger extent than they ever have been before. So what's the answer? Let's find technology to help us, and robotics can be a help in terms of feeding aged, delivering meals in hospitals, and even in homes, a home model that can do that for them. So here's a company that's never done anything like that before, and is saying, we've got the imaging technology, we've got a capability to use a lot of our technology in the construction of robots, all brand new, very different. That's where their mindset is. They're also very realistic about how long a particular part of the business has to run. I'm sure if you look at Canon in the past, they always were groundbreakers. And I think they'll continue to do it. And I think, in all honesty, at some point in time, when they say A3 has had its full run, they'll get out of it. Now, did anybody tell me that? Absolutely not. This is only my surmise. I'm just thinking, what would a leader do if a part of the industry, or a very strong part of the industry, is no longer viable as a product to continue manufacturing? And that one day will happen. I think that's a foregone conclusion. So that's Canon. So if you're a Canon dealer, I wouldn't worry a whole lot about what they're going to be providing tomorrow, because I always think there'll be a place for independent distribution in whatever they provide. If you take a look at Konica Minolta, I think one of the things that I've grown to respect with Konica Minolta is they're very aggressive. They want to try everything. Their philosophy is, let's see what these other areas are that we can possibly play in and play well in. Now, the difference between Konica Minolta and Canon is Canon far outpaces Konica Minolta in their investment in research and development, and in the number of patents that they hold. Canon is the leading patent holder in our industry by far. So Konica Minolta, on the other hand, says, okay, we haven't made that investment, so we'll buy technology. What have they done? They bought MGI, which has some fantastic technology in printing. They bought a textile printing company. Those are just two of the examples that I can bring to mind. And that goes back years ago, when it was before the Konica and Minolta merger, when Minolta bought QMS. And basically the QMS was their introduction into print and into front-end technology. So I think the same statement could be made about Konica. If you're a Konica Minolta dealer, yeah, they're going to be coming up with things that I think, if you recall our visit in 2018, and then of course the visit that CJ and I made in 2014, they're looking at how to extend the life of the MFP. Could be with artificial intelligence, augmented reality, all kinds of different ways that things that can be incorporated into a device like an MFP, or framed like an MFP. That, to me, is a reasonable approach, and something that would make some kind of sense. If you take a look at Kyocera, Kyocera very simply is going to expand in the area of software and services, and is doing so today. That is continued because that's a long-term commitment. If you recall Mr. Ina, the statement he made about developing the relationship with Highland, he said that maybe too advanced, our distribution may be too advanced for Highland, but our job is to bring them up to that level. And I think I think the current president, Oscar Sanchez, was chosen, and Oscar's background is software. And I think he's, from all the comments I've heard Oscar make, that's pretty consistent, the direction that they're going. So if you got a company that you're representing on a hardware side, this may be a company that leads you to a totally different area into the services side. And of course, utilizing services to sell whatever the hardware that is available.